I literally just got here. I want to tell you a crazy story about my travel. As you might have heard, there was a storm brewing in the East Coast, and there was some major flooding. I was in Clearwater, Florida, speaking to the Office Moving Alliance. It's a sales training team with over 100 professionals from 49 different companies. People flew in from all over the country, and they had to leave early because they were going to close the bridge out of Clearwater, Florida, and people were not going to be able to get to the airport. So I saw people rushing out, but I was busy doing a sales navigator seminar about our sales navigator boot camp next month. Meanwhile, my flight to Newark, New Jersey was canceled. As soon as I found out, I called up the airline, and the woman said, "Well, sorry, most flights are canceled today because of the weather. We actually automatically put you on a flight to LGA, to LaGuardia." I said, "What the heck? Maybe I should just drive 4 hours and go visit my mother in FLL. Can you book me a flight home from FLL tomorrow?" And she said, "No, sir. Tampa is not in the same circuit as FLL or in the same zone as FLL. We can't book you on a flight from there, but you can make your own choice if you want to go there and pay for it yourself." I said, "Okay, well, how about paying for a hotel for tonight and booking me on the first flight tomorrow straight to Newark?" She said, "No, sir, we don't pay for hotels for weather-related delays and cancellations." I looked at the hotels. They were pretty expensive, and I'm thinking to myself, you know what? Maybe I'll get to LGA. It's fine. Let's just see what happens. All right, put me on. And then I thought to myself, hang on a second, wait. Could you put me on another airline that goes to Newark, New Jersey, for example, United? I was flying JetBlue, United. And she said, "I'm sorry, we can't do that due to weather delays. We can only put you on the next flight, which is going to LaGuardia." And I said, "You know what? I'll just go to LaGuardia. I'll get to the airport a little late. I'll go to LaGuardia. Everything's going to be okay," right? Think about that for just a moment. What would you do? Would you stay or would you go? Knowing that most of the flights were canceled, would you stay or would you go? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the chat. Turns out they didn't close the bridge. I left Clearwater, Florida. The waters were really high. The SUV that took me to the airport was splashing through massive amounts of water. It took double of the amount of time to get to the Tampa airport, but I got there safe, and the Uber driver was from Cuba. He was actually very, very nice, and I learned a few things from him. Like, for example, I learned to use an app called Flight Aware to know if an airport is closed or is open. It's an app that you can download, which is actually really cool. It shows you all the different airplanes that are going in and out of any particular airport at any given time. Really powerful tool. And I'm always learning things from Uber drivers. Anyway, I got to the airport. They told me the flight was on time. We're going to LGA. And as soon as I went into the airport, I noticed that the plane that was coming in to go from LGA to Tampa to take me back to LGA wasn't even there yet. So I looked on the FlightAware app and I see the flight is coming here. But oh my God, it looks like it's being diverted. Instead of it coming to Tampa, it's going to West Palm Beach. None of the flights are landing in Tampa. They're all going to different places, Fort Myers, West Palm Beach, whatever. And I'm like, go to the airline staff. And I'm like, why does it say on time? And they're like, we don't know. I mean, we think it's on time. We think it'll make it here on time. I was like, dude, it's not going to make it here on time. It's going to West Palm Beach. Sure enough, sure enough, a few minutes later, it says delayed, delayed. I'm supposed to be home to take my kids out for dinner instead of being at the airport in Tampa. Super frustrating. Now I have no idea when I'm going to be coming home. I have no inbound flights. Many of the salespeople were there with me too. So I got to take a few more selfies and connect with people in the moving and the relocation industry. I checked the monitors and it showed that the flight was delayed by 4 hours. They need to get a plan to get home. I need a plan. How am I going to get home? And it might not even happen. I might not even get home. And I have a seminar early in the morning. So what would I do? The key is not to stress out. And the key is certainly not to give up. So I closed my eyes and I said, I'm grateful. Everything is for the good. Like literally, I just closed my eyes and said that. And all of a sudden, Thomas Murphy walks by. And I realized things aren't so bad. I got PJ, Thomas Murphy, a bunch of other people walking by in the airport, very nice people that I met at the OMA conference. I get to build relationships, I get to connect. Okay, wonderful. So nice. Suddenly, I hear my name on the loudspeaker. It just shows up. Boom. Joe Apfelbaum, please come to gate A12. Gate A12? I look at my boarding pass. That's not my gate. Why do they want me to come to gate A12? Is there another Applebaum? Is there another Joe? As I'm getting up to quickly go to the gate to see what they want from my life, the president of JK Moving hears my name and comes running to find me to take another selfie. David Cox, amazing. And he posted the selfie on LinkedIn. I'll post a comment to the selfie in the comments of this right now. Anyway, the comment has dozens and dozens and dozens of likes, thousands of views. I'm sitting here, I'm thinking to myself, the post that he posted, very, very grateful, very nice. Anyway, when I get to the gate, they tell me that because I have Mosaic, because I have a special status with JetBlue, that they're going to put me on a flight to Westchester. I'm like, Westchester? Where the heck is Westchester? I don't think I've ever flown to Westchester. Who flies to Westchester? Tell me, does anybody ever fly to Westchester? So I looked it up. It turns out Westchester is not so far. It's actually just 50 miles from my house. How much is an Uber going to be? Not that much more. I said, okay, I'll take it, because literally we were leaving that minute. The plane was like starting to board. And they said, we're cleared for takeoff. And I'm like, oh my God. I gave her a bunch of chocolates because she's so kind, of course. I'm going to give her chocolates. And I'm so grateful that I'm flying out. And I'm thinking to myself, prayers do work. Sitting down and being grateful and praying does work. Write that in the chat. Write, prayers work. Where focus goes, energy flows. If you're focused on being nervous, you're going to get more of nervousness. If you focus on being angry, you're going to get more of things that make you angry. If you focus on blessings and what you're grateful for, you're going to get blessings. I was excited to finally take off, and within 5 minutes, I was on the plane, ready to go. I was more than 5 hours delayed, but I was feeling grateful that I was finally on the way home. I got to sit next to an insurance salesperson, and the seat next to me was open. There was nobody next to me, but he had the aisle. I had the window. We were right in the front of the plane. It was very, very nice. They put me in a beautiful seat. I love networking in first class. And we're having a conversation. I was telling him about what I do, about Evie AI, which I'm going to show you Evie AI in just a moment here. And, he's like, wow, maybe you should train my team. And we had this really great conversation. It turns out his chief marketing officer is on the plane too. And he's texting with him, and we're having a ball. Finally, we get to the New York City area, and they say, hey, we're about to land. Get ready to land. And I'm looking at how much a ride costs from HPN, which is Westchester. And I'm like, wow, there's surge pricing. It's so much more expensive. But I'm like, it's okay. At least I'll get home. I'll be able to go to sleep. And then in the morning, I'll be able to go to the seminar with Jack Daly. Okay. But they want to land in HPN, but the airport in Westchester is having a crazy storm and they don't allow it. They said, sorry, guys, we can't land. We're going to find another airport to go to. I'm like, where are they going to go? They're going to go to Florida? How could this be happening? Thoughts flying through my head. I said, no, I'm going to be grateful. All of a sudden they announced, okay, we're going to JFK. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to JFK. I was like, wonderful. JFK is better than LaGuardia because JFK is a bigger airport and it's more likely that we'll be able to land there, right? Think again. They try to go to JFK. JFK is not accepting incoming flights. So I have a flight circling on top of New York City. I see my house from the window. It's just going round and round and round. And I'm like, what is going on? They say, ladies and gentlemen, we are running out of fuel. And I'm like, OMG. And they said, we're going to Newark. And people are like, I'm like, Newark? That's where I wanted to go to begin with. That's where my ticket was set to go. I'm like, yay, Newark. I was so happy. I'm like, this is where I wanted to go all along. And in just 10 minutes, we landed in Newark. It was very bumpy to get down, but I'm so happy. I actually gave them a round of applause. I never do that. I always think it's so cheesy to give people a round of applause. Do you do a round of applause? Give me the applause sign if you do a round of applause when people land the plane. Anyway, the door of the plane opens. Good to see you, Kimberly. The door of the plane opens, and I'm standing there because I'm in the front of the plane trying to get out. There's a woman in front of me with her daughter. And the flight attendant says, "Oh, I'm sorry. Please sit down." What? Everyone's already standing. Everyone has their bags out. You know, like when you're in, everyone's like in the line, ready to go. The door of the airplane is open. They're at the gate. I want to leave. I'm literally a few minutes from my house. I could be in bed in 15 minutes. They said, we need to go back to Westchester. We need to refuel and we need to go back to Westchester. And I'm like, I'm right here. I can't believe this is happening. I'm 10 minutes from my house. The door of the plane is open. Can you please let me out? I'm right in the front. I can just step into the terminal. In 10 seconds, I'll be off the plane and I'll be out of your hair. Can you just let me get out? And they say, nope, sir, please sit down. I said, what? I was like, can I speak to the captain? She's like, the captain does not allow anyone off the aircraft. Please follow the rules. I said, I'm happy to follow the rules, but I'd like you to tell the captain that the CEO said it's illegal to keep us on this airplane. The NTSB has rules about this, and he will agree with me. So please, as the door is open here, tell the pilot I said that. She whispered to the captain over the telephone, and he came out of his little cabin. He said, sir, you are correct. If you don't want to be on this airplane, the door is open. We cannot leave you on this airplane. But I just wanted to let you know that Newark Airport is not allowing us to unload the bags. So we're going to have to refuel and go back to Westchester. So it's your choice. But you cannot get your bags off this airplane. You can just walk out if you want. I said, no problem. You can keep my bags. With all due respect, you can keep my bags. I just want to get off. He said, thank you very much. I said, thank you very much for bringing us to Newark safely. I choose this to be my final destination. Guess what? 30 people walked off the plane with me, with permission, with grace, without making a big deal about it. I had no idea if I would ever be able to get home. Plus, I had to go to the bathroom so bad. As I'm writing this, I'm grateful that I made up the NTSB rules on the spot and that the captain agreed with the made up rules and that I didn't check any bags onto the flight. The flight actually may make it to HBN. I don't know. I have to go check. They may make it to Westchester. Maybe they won't make it to Westchester. Maybe they're going to land in Boston because of the storm. I don't know. But I know one thing for sure. When you demand something with all your heart, people will listen. If you want something, you got to put your heart in it. You got to put enthusiasm in it. If you want to be successful in sales, you got to ask for what you want. You got to put enthusiasm. You got to do it with respect and love. Would you have just sat down and just taken it? I felt really bad that I had to even say something. I don't like making a big deal about things. But the airplane door was open. I wanted to leave. I was standing right there. I just wanted to get off the plane. It's been a really long trip. So many canceled flights. I don't know if the airplane would be able to take off. I don't want to get locked up there again. I just wanted to get out. And it's also not safe to go fly in this crazy weather. My adrenaline was pumping, but I felt good to get out, get into an Uber, and get home. And I am home. But I'm not at the Jack Daly seminar, and I feel bad about that. But you know what? I made it safe and sound. Did you guys like that story? If you like that story, put a smiley face in the chat. Curious to know if you liked it or you didn't like it. But prayers do work. Really, really powerful. I'm glad that I'm home, and I'm glad that I documented that story right here on LinkedIn Live. Very, very grateful. So thank you for listening to this. Now, let me share with you how I go about writing content for LinkedIn using Evie AI. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but there's a tool that I use called Evie AI. Have you heard of it? Just write yes or no in the chat. I'm going to share my screen briefly so you can see Evie AI working in real time. So hopefully you can see my screen right now. I'm also going to share my face next to my screen so you can see me very clearly next to Evie AI explaining to you what it does. So if you want to improve your credibility and engagement on LinkedIn, you have to use this tool called Evie AI, E-V-Y-A-I. It'll help you write posts, create comments on LinkedIn, and also be able to send messages to people. So if you want to learn how to use artificial intelligence, just write artificial intelligence or AI in the chat. I'm happy to send you more resources and more tools and more information like this. So you just click on login on the top. You see it says login. If you have an account, it logs you right in. If you want to write a post, on the left side where it says post writer, you just click on post writer. And in here, you can select what you want to write a post about. Now, for me, I want to write a post about my story. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to type up everything I just said and I'm going to paste it in right over here and I'm going to make it conversational. I'm going to select my persona, Joe Apfelbaum, and I'm going to choose GPT-4 and I'm going to press generate. It's that simple. I basically just take the transcription of the things that I said and I press generate and it'll turn all this mumbo jumbo content, which is much more than 3,000 characters. It's much more than 3,000 characters long, and it'll turn it into a solid post. It'll include a hook. It'll include a main points about the story. It'll include call to action. It'll include some hashtags for me to use on LinkedIn. These are all important points to use on LinkedIn. If you want to be more successful with LinkedIn, attend our Influencer Summit. So check this out, influencersummit2024.com. If you haven't joined yet, you're going to learn the proven systems to maximize LinkedIn in 2024. So save your spot by going to influencersummit2024.com. Me and Esty have been putting this together for the past 6 years. This year, we're going to bring Adam, Shay, Mac, Ivana, Jason, and Judy. And they're going to be sharing some pretty great insights. You'll discover how to optimize your profile, how to get into the feed, how to go one-on-one. Adam has some really, really great strategies. He's a keynote speaker specializing in LinkedIn strategies for entrepreneur. Shay grew over to 600,000 followers. Mac is the LinkedIn maestro, and he has the power of LinkedIn building strategic strategies. Ivana has analyzed over 1 million posts, and she's going to be sharing insights. Jason is a lead generation machine. Judy wrote a book called Expand, Elevate, and Engage on LinkedIn. She talks about LinkedIn engagement. We've had so many incredible influencers over the year join us, and they've shared some really, really great insights. And we're going to have some cameos from other influencers as well. But I just want to let you know that this summit is completely free. So you can join it right now if you go to influencersummit2024.com. I'd love to see you there. So let's see what Evie AI created. Hey, LinkedIn family, I got a wild story to share with you about my recent trip to Clearwater. I was there to speak for the Office Moving Alliance, teaching over 100 sales rep professionals on how to leverage LinkedIn. What follows is a whirlwind of flight changes, airport delays, and unexpected detours. But amidst the chaos, I found opportunities to connect with amazing people, learn new things like how to use the FlightAware app, and even potentially secure a new business opportunity with an insurance company. I learned from this experience that even in the most challenging situations, there are always opportunities for growth and connection. It's all about how you choose to see the situation. This experience also reminded me of the crucial lesson in sales: ask for what you want with enthusiasm and respect. When you demand something with all your heart, people will listen. So I want to hear from you. What have you found yourself? Have you found yourself in a similar situation? How did you handle it? And more importantly, what did you learn from it? Remember, every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Let's embrace them together and let's start growing together. So now, what I want to do is I want to take this and turn it into a LinkedIn article. I want to turn it into a powerful LinkedIn article. So I'm going to do this in real time for you, show you how I do it. We're going to go right into LinkedIn right now. So you just go to linkedin.com and you go to write an article. You see in the top center, it says write an article. I'm going to click on write an article. Then it's going to ask me who I want to write an article as. I can select me or any of my company names. I'm going to click on Joe Apfelbaum. I'm going to click next. Now it's going to say add an image. Now check this out. You can create a design with artificial intelligence. I'm going to click on create a design, and it's going to allow me to create a design just like this. So I'm going to say learning lessons from a airport travel disaster. Okay, I'm going to press go. Learning lessons from an airport travel disaster. And let's see what it does. So the AI is actually creating this image directly inside LinkedIn. This is particularly useful for those of you that maybe don't really have a ton of time to sit down and start creating graphics. You can literally put anything you want over here. I can also grab the headline. I got a wild story to share about my recent trip to Clearwater, Florida. You see that? You can actually put all this stuff into there. You see, look at that. Lessons from an airport travel disaster. I'm going to go in here. I can choose this one, this one, this one. You see that? I can choose any of these. So in this case, I'm going to put, I actually like the design of this one. So I'm going to press customize design. And I'm going to go ahead and start customizing this design. So instead of using this image over here, what I can do is I can click on my media. I can go to my device. and I can find some media from my device. Let me see if I have any media that I can use. I actually do have some images available in my Google Drive. So let me see if I can quickly grab them from my Google Drive. My question to you is, where are you dialing in from? Let me know in the chat. Go ahead. Let me know where in the world you're dialing in from. I am curious to know, and I'd love to hear from you. So go ahead. Let me know where in the world you are right now. Also, let me know what your goal is with LinkedIn. Do you want to do lead generation? Do you want to do thought leadership? Let me know what your goal is. All right, so I'm going to click on download. I'm going to download this image here, and then I'm going to click this image, and I'm going to insert it right over here. As you can see, I'm inserting this image. Now, this image is behind that image, so I am going to try to get this image to correlate into there. Let's see. See if it'll, oh, and look, it puts it in many different places over here. Auto adjust, brightness, saturation. Very, very cool. Trying to figure out how to, oh, maybe I can set it as a background. Position, remove background. Huh. Replace. Oh, okay. I'm going to delete this image right over here. I'm going to click on this. I'm going to press replace from my media. I'm going to click on this image. Let's see. Oh, it did it. Okay, good. Airports, lessons learned from an airport travel disaster. I'm going to change the background color of this to something more EVAI related. Oop, I don't really like that color. Let's see. Let me find another color. Nope, don't love that color. Ooh, that's not a bad one. That's white. Maybe I'll choose a little bit gray, just like that. A little lighter gray. I'm going to press done. Okay, as you can see, lessons learned from a travel disaster. Okay, and I'm going to say, let me tell you about my trip to Florida, my trip back from Florida. All right, so I'm going to say, I'm going to call this lessons from a trip back from Florida. All right, so now I'm going to copy and paste the text of the conversation I had with you guys. I'm going to paste it in over here. So this is my article. Do you see that? I put this whole article. Crazy story. As you might have heard, the storm was brewing on the East Coast. People flew in from all over the country. So what I'm actually going to do is I am going to download an image of all the people that are at the conference. I have a few images of the people at the conference. So I'm actually going to download an image of all the people standing over there, and I'm going to put it right over here. So how do you add an image to a LinkedIn article? You might be wondering. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to click on this little image thing here, and I'm going to click on this image, and I'm going to press open. And as you can see, I just added this image. You see that? Some of the top thought leaders in the room at OMA, in 2024. Okay. So I asked all these thought leaders to go to the front of the room. I went to the back of the room, took a picture of them, and now I have the picture. All right, so now I'm going to do Sales Navigator seminar. Meanwhile, my flight was canceled. So if you want to see the Sales Navigator seminar, I am going to put a link to our Sales Navigator Bootcamp right over here. So you see that. I'm going to select that. I'm going to go to the Sales Navigator Bootcamp, salesnavigatorbootcamp.com. This is our bootcamp that we're doing, and I'm going to link the bootcamp right over here. So how do I link it? I select the text, I click on link, and I paste the text right over here. You see that? My flight to Newark is canceled. So I found out, I called up the airline, blah, blah, blah. What the heck? Boom, boom, boom. Pay for hotels. Okay, I'll take it. So now let me go here and see if I can find a picture of me inside the Uber. I believe I took a picture of me inside the Uber at one point. Let me see if I did that. I don't see it over here. Totally fine. I do have a picture of, I do have a video of the storm, of the crazy, crazy storm, but I don't like the way it looks. So I am not going to use that video of the storm. I am, however, going to take a picture from the top of the airplane and put it over here. So I'm going to say, now that I have no idea when I'm going home, no inbound flights. Okay, I put the post of the president of JK Moving. I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paste that picture. So where am I going to get that picture from? I'm actually going to go to LinkedIn. I'll go to linkedin.com, go to my notifications, and I'm going to grab that that image of him and me, and I'm going to save the image as, I'm going to call it JK President. I'm going to save it in my downloads. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here, click on image. Excuse me. I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to click on the image. And then I'm going to click on JK President. I'm going to press open. So now, David Cox and Joe Apfelbaum. Selfie at the airport. Okay. So now I have the link to his post over here. I'm actually going to tag him here so he gets notified. David Cox. Let's see if for some reason, oh, there he is. Okay. I'm also going to tag Tom Murphy. Tom Murphy. Oh, right here. That's Tom Murphy. All right. So now I'm going to scroll down a little further. It's going to say back in New York, try to go to JFK. Okay. Running out of what? Okay. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to show the picture of the airplane. Of me inside of like just what I can see from the airplane. Now, what I could also do is I can make this image smaller. You see that? Smaller, bigger, smaller, bigger. You see that? I can mess with the type of image that this is. Okay, photo from the airplane. Circling over New York City. Okay? Circling all over New York City. And so now I'm going to scroll down. Tell me if anything like this happened to you. And I'm going to say, P.S. If you want to join the Influencer Summit 2024, go to www.influencersummit2024.com. Okay, so now I'm going to select that, and I'm going to make that a link, and that'll be the last link that I leave in my LinkedIn newsletter. Now, this is going to rank on Google. Okay, so I'm going to click on link. I'm going to put http:// apply. Joe Apfelbaum, CEO, Ajax Union. Okay, I'm also going to link that. http:// I'm going to press apply. So this is the crazy story. People are going to get this in an email. Now I'm going to press next, and I'm going to add the Evie AI content. So I'm going to press copy. This is the post that I created. So I created the article. I created the post. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to paste here. I got a wild story to share with you about a trip to Colorado. I was going there to speak for the Office Moving Alliance. I'm going to tag them. Office Moving Alliance. Over 100 sales reps, but Mother Nature had other plans. A storm was brewing on the East Coast. What followed was a whirlwind of changes, airport delays, but amidst the chaos, I found opportunities to connect with amazing people, learn new things, and potentially secure a new business opportunity for my company. Okay? It's all about how you choose a situation. This experience was to remind me of the crucial lesson. Ask for what you want. When you demand something with all your heart, listen to it. If you found yourself in such a situation, how would you handle it? More importantly, how would you learn from it? Remember, every challenge has an opportunity. P.S. Read the full story in the article below. Sorry, Jack Bailey, to miss your session. I'll catch the next one. Love you. Okay, and I'm going to say Brad, control @ Brad Willie. glad I made it home. Thanks for lunch. All right, so now I'm going to press publish, and now this article has just been published. So who got this article? 10,000 people. 10,000 people got an email with this article. Now, Evie AI wrote the post because there's also a post there. So I took the article that was written by me, but I basically just said it, and the AI typed it up. I took images from LinkedIn that other people took, some images that I took, some images from artificial intelligence. Remember, I showed you how this design was created by AI. I just injected my image, but the whole design was created by artificial intelligence. I literally showed you step by step how to do that. If you got value from this, just write, Joe, I got value. I'm curious to know if you got value from seeing me do this step by step. Now, there are 52 additional strategies that I teach inside my course. And I'm launching a new community called the Engaged Thought Leaders Community, where I'm going to unveil each one of these 52 items over the course of the year. So if you want to join the Engaged Thought Leaders Community, just write Thought Leader in the chat, and I will share some insights about the Thought Leader community and so on. Jim Peterson said, great story. I loved it. Sarah said, so glad you got home safely. Thank you, Sarah. Annette said, yes. Kimberly said, I do. Laura said, prayers work. Thank you very much, guys. I really want to take a moment to just acknowledge you for showing up to my LinkedIn Live. I want to acknowledge you. And I want to show you how Evie AI works in action. So Andre is one of my clients. I'm going to give him a heart, and then I'm going to drop a comment. Now, typically when I have to write a comment, I have to think about what to say. I have to think about the tone, the goal. In this case, I just push a button and look, and it just created it. Andre, you really distill the essence of agile methodology. So I'm going to tag him by pressing the @ sign, click on it. I'm going to read this. It makes sense. I'm going to press post. I just left a post on LinkedIn in seconds with my hands here on the video. I just showed you my hands on the video. The AI typed the whole thing up. So if I want to drop 5, 10, 15, 20 comments a day using artificial intelligence, you can just drop comments and boom, look at that. It just created another comment. And I can leave so many comments, stay top of mind, tag people. The key is read that comment before you actually post it. But I want to stay top of mind with these people. Why? Why do I want to stay top of mind? I want to stay top of mind with these people because these people refer business to me. These people do business with me. These people are good people that I want to just build relationships and stay top of mind with. So if you're not dropping 10, 15, 20 comments a day, you're missing out on the opportunity to add value to other people and also to be able to make a difference on LinkedIn. I want you to seriously take a moment and think to yourself, how can I add value to other people? By posting, telling stories, by engaging, leaving engaging comments and thoughtful comments and tagging people, and also by making sure that you are messaging people. I use artificial intelligence to message people all the time. And if you're not doing that, if you're not using AI to message people, then you are really missing out. I use AI to reply to comments on my own posts. So if you want to tune in, we have more of these tutorials. I'm going on LinkedIn Live every single day. So tune in to our future events. Thank you very much for joining me here today. And I want to let you know that I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up. I appreciate you engaging. I appreciate you being part of this community. If not for you, I wouldn't be doing this. So thank you for watching this. Let me know if you watched the live by typing in live in the comments, or let me know if you watched a replay by typing in replay in the comments. And I just want to say thank you for being here. I'm going to start my first sales call today, but I may be doing another LinkedIn Live. I may be doing number 9 today with a special guest. Let me know if you also want to be a guest on my LinkedIn Live this year. I'd love to host you. So say, Joe, I'd like to be a guest. And I will reach out to you and we'll have a conversation about that.